Hi Cancer, welcome to your September 2016 general tarot reading. The overall energy in September is the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is a card of, that's associated with Jupiter, actually. So when we think about that, we think about the transit of Jupiter and what that brings to a person. And this is kind of like a similar thing, even though Jupiter is always going from one sign to another, but it hits different parts of your natal chart. In terms of talking about what's happening with Jupiter, for instance, I mean, right now, Jupiter has been in your third house, okay? And the third house is the house of communication, sibling, your local environment, and stuff like that. So you may have had some sort of expansion in relationship to, writing or teaching in the last year. And it's set to go into your fourth house of home and family, which is your natural house. The second week, like around the 7th of September, in the sign of Libra. So as we are in September, the Wheel of Fortune is kind of connected to that, I feel, is kind of showing that your luck will change for the better, especially in the month of September, because Jupiter will be going into your natural house. And so it's like kind of like, I think that it's significant in that sense. Let me look at the recent past. For some of you, it might be that some Sagittarius person is, in your life in September for whatever reason. This isn't just a love reading. It could be in business as well. The recent past, we see the Ace of Pentacles. So this can indicate that you started a new job, you perhaps received some sort of business loan, or that you got some kind of money, maybe some kind of, what do they call those, windfalls? Something like that. And so with I'm just looking at this card. It seems like it was does this look kind of off kilter? I don't know. It looks like it was cut, a little bit unevenly. With the Wheel of Fortune, I think that money that and this could have been something you got in August, for instance. Money, some sort of money can help you to, be on a winning streak or a lucky streak. Somehow it could be connected to some kind of money that just maybe came out of nowhere. Now, it could be an earth sign individual that you are starting a relationship with, and this is kind of like why you're in this wonderful upswing. So that would be a Taurus or a Virgo or Capricorn. In the near future, we have the Judgment card. Another major arcana card like the Wheel of Fortune. And the Judgment card is about rebirth. Okay, so you may have come through the fire. And, it's showing this progression. It's showing that, good things are starting to happen for you. If you felt like you've suffered, in the past, and I know that a lot of the cardinal signs feel that way. Not just Cancer, but also Capricorn, Librans, and Aries. But definitely with the Cancers and Capricorns, you have this Pluto in Capricorn, and you're the opposite sign of Capricorn. So it's forming an opposition to your sun or your rising sign. So it's understandable why you may have been feeling like you've been bouncing around and not feeling a sense of stability well, maybe some of you haven't, and that's something that you don't like to feel. So, but I just want to tell you that, and then we have Uranus in another cardinal sign in Aries. So there's a lot of this cardinal and these outer planets kind of challenging the people who are cardinal signs. But I think it's really good for you in a sense, because it helps to remind you of, differentiating between what you can control and what you can't control. And so, even though it can be very unnerving for sure. So the judgment sometimes I feel like can be a divorce decree. And maybe, your divorce goes through. And so you feel like, okay, I just got a new job. Or I just got the money that I've been waiting for my business, or money that was due to you from some other source. And now I feel lucky in life again, and I'm getting divorced. I'm leaving a situation. But it can also mean that it was karmic, that it happened because of things in the past. And so if you did something good, it's not just random. You had a hand in making it happen, so you should be proud of yourself. And, you sowed the right seeds, in other words. The higher message is the Five of Swords. So there may have been something, and this may have had to do with if you did leave a partner, for instance. And by the way, I shouldn't have just limited it to marriage or anything, because it could be that you had a work-related lawsuit or something, where you had to leave a company and there might have been some legalistic things involved. This would indicate that perhaps someone, spread rumors about you. When you see the Five of Swords, there's underhanded behavior, and it can relate to verbal, to communications that are being done in an underhanded way. They may not be true. Somebody may have spread rumors about you or distorted information when they were talking to a superior that hurt your, reputation in some way. Hopefully you did not do that to anybody else to gain the upper hand. I don't think so, because the Wheel of Fortune and the Judgment card would indicate that you have a lot of good juju happening right now. So I don't think that you can, get the Judgment card and have been an underhanded person before that. So it may be somebody else who tried to manipulate people against you. And this could have been, maybe you had a child. Maybe you had some kind of a custody case, and your ex poisoned the well with his significant other and to the child. And, because there's more than one person who is involved in this treachery. And so it was a negative experience regardless of what it was. And you've come through, and the Judgment card shows that you've come through it with flying colors. What challenges you is represented by the Two of Cups. Now, the Two of Cups can indicate, commitment, and for some people, reuniting with a past love. With you, this may be a situation. I'm trying to think, okay, where is that? Yeah, see, you're going to be having the Mercury retrograde that's starting at the end of August and going through most of September. You're going to be having that in your third house, which is the ruler, which is ruled by Mercury. You're going to have this retrograde. So this means that you may hear from somebody, back from somebody that you once dealt with. You may get back with somebody, but this may be an internet connection, or maybe that's where you touch base again. And this may not be, if this is a situation of reuniting with them, it may not be a very good idea. You may think it is, but it may not be all it's cracked up to be. However, this card can also indicate disharmony within a relationship. So, again, if you are getting divorced, make sure that you do not have a contentious divorce. Try to take the upper, what do they say, the higher ground. Because the Two of Cups is all about uniting. And when you have it in reverse, or you have it as a challenge, there's a lack of that unity. And if you have a child together, that can be injurious to the child, even if you are apart from that other parent, you still should show a united front when you're dealing with your child together, and not use the child. See, that can happen in some of these cases, that one parent is using the child to kind of, get at the other partner or ex-partner. This can also indicate that a person that you have left may get together with somebody else, and you may have to be prepared for that possibility that you will find out that your ex has committed to another person, and that may bring stuff up that is unexpected for you, because even if you were the one to initiate the separation, you may still feel like, why did he or she, leave so, or, go to a new relationship so soon. And feelings like that can bring up issues of, insecurity, for instance. And you may feel like, I don't know, sometimes people, when they leave a relationship and they find that somebody else has that person, all of a sudden they start to get a little bit jealous, even though they claim they didn't want to be in the relationship anymore. And this is something that you have to guard against, because it may just be coming from a very, insecure place. It may not be connected to your real feelings. You may be glad to be gone from the relationship, but you still are a little bit, nostalgic or possessive even. Now, I was just thinking that these cards may be related. So, like, for instance, in a business sense, you may have felt betrayed in your company, and you find out that somebody else is hooking up with, like two people are hooking up and, forming their own partnership, and it somehow, could impact your business. So it's just like making you prepared for that, because, this is treachery, and this is possible, two people joining forces, but it's something that challenges you for some reason. The attitude to adopt, the mindset to adopt, is the Page of Swords. So it might involve you actually doing some stealth research and finding out what's going on. You may have to, see if there were people who pretended that they were you know, on your side, and they turned out to take information that you had and use it against you, and also use it for their benefit. And you may have to, if you've already gone through some kind of a court situation, you may have to go through more, depending on what you find out. Or it could just be that you need to be vigilant in the future, because you never know if one of those parties will try to contact you. And, you know, whether it's a court situation, sometimes, like for instance, let's say you did go through a child custody case, and the other party has a lawyer, and they may try to, you know, sneakily gain information so that they can use it against you, and you're going to have to like kind of be very smart and vigilant about it. The advice is the Two of Wands. So this is about considering your next move, but you're really kind of, if you see, he's holding the world. He's got the world in his hand. He has a lot of possibilities, but he's not sure if he wants to stay put or whether he wants to actually go. And so the reason that you would be like this is probably because you want to start fresh. You have two cards that suggest to me, or even this one you could say too, the top cards suggest to me that you really are, you know, starting a new cycle. You had your birthday not too long ago, so you're starting a whole new solar cycle, and you may really want to move, but something is keeping you here, whether it's a child that is already enrolled in school that you don't want to uproot, or whether you're just you have a house and you don't really want to go through all the hassle of selling it. You may be torn, and the thing is, you don't have to make a decision in one day. You can kind of get used to the idea. You can research, and which this card is all about, researching, and see what comes up. See what if it makes more sense to stay where you are, or to pick up shop and go somewhere else where you're going to feel that you're going to get a fresh start, and you're going to be away from other people that may kind of drag you back into the past. The Outcome is a very nice card for, I think, for financial security. The Queen of Pentacles, and you know, Cancer likes to be very financially secure. This is definitely a card of that. There's an intuitive quality to the Queen, so you're really knowing exactly how to, you know, what financial moves to make. It's on an intuitive level, which probably would include investing for some of you. But there's also, but the truth too is that it can relate to, you know, when do you buy property, when do you sell property? All of that is sometimes very connected to proper timing. And so you're going to be really good at doing that. You're going to be enjoying the fruits of your labor, and just luxuriating in what you have, and appreciating it, and being and feeling like you're very abundant, because you are. And you know, this is in no small part to this card and this card. I think you're going to be really doing well, Cancer. Now I think I'm going to pull a card from the Energy Oracle deck by Sandra Ann Taylor, just because I forgot to do it for my last sign. I've been kind of doing it on and off. I'm going to start doing some of these cards because they really do kind of add a dimension sometimes, and it's fun. Just a little bit of a change of pace. Okay. Interesting. Number 35. First chakra, Archangel Michael. And the first chakra, before I look in the booklet, is the chakra of survival. And this is kind of like something that I think, you know, when Cancer gets into its shadow self. It can get a little bit too concerned with security issues, like, will I have enough? And the problem with this is that it's not a high level of consciousness. It's really just in that survival mode, and it's also fear-based. If you're afraid that you don't have enough, if you're afraid of that you have to protect yourself all the time, protect your body, it doesn't allow you, if you're pouring all your energy there, it doesn't allow you to just live at a higher energetic frequency, and also to have a more expansive consciousness. And sometimes what happens too is that people feel like they have to work long hours because they have to make enough money so that they can, save for their retirement or something like that, and they're not being here now. They're always living in the future. And there's always this possible, this impending doom that they have to stave off. So it's, let's see what the book says about that. It says stability and security. And of course, I'm looking at it in one way. I mean, there's also, the lower chakras do exist for a reason. We are physical beings. So we can't say that the lower chakras are bad and the upper chakras are good. I didn't mean to imply that. I'm just saying that if you just base your consciousness on, safety and security, then it doesn't allow for any other types of, energetic expression. It's just all put on the physical body and the preservation of it. Michael holds a beautiful globe. It's funny because this guy holds a globe too. Okay, here's this globe. I think does that look like a globe to you? That's Michael. God, he looks like somebody. Of red energy at the first chakra, which is located, I'm going to put this so that you can see it better, at the base of the spine. This is the place where your sense of stability and security is stored. When this card is upright, it reveals that your energy is flowing freely regarding these issues. Even if you've had problems with feeling secure in the past, these challenges are beginning to be resolved at this time. Archangel Michael is with you, bringing you strength and personal stability. You are capable of taking action and moving forward on your path. So allow yourself to feel increasing faith in your own power and security, now and always. Okay, that sounds like a good place to end this reading. I hope you enjoyed that message related to Archangel Michael, Cancer, and I hope you enjoyed this general tarot reading. If you'd like a personal tarot reading, please click on the within the description box below. Otherwise, I hope that you have a wonderful and prosperous September. Bye.